Hey, good morning everybody. This is Jay with Bonsai'sforever. I got a new species of tree today. Never worked on one of these before. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen one of these before. Saw it at the garden center and thought that this would be an awesome addition to my collection. It's called a royal purple smoke tree. I will have to look up the scientific name. It doesn't list it on the tag that came with the tree, so I'll have to look that up. Probably should have looked that up before I started my video, but I didn't, so I'll put that in the description. Sometimes it's easier for people to read it for themselves than for me to try to pronounce it anyway. So looking at the tag, it's got some basic information on the tree. It says that the watering for this tree after it's established in the ground is an occasional deep watering. It says not to overwater it, but in the ground, I mean, that would be a little bit hard to do. In a bonsai pot, I would think that something with thin leaves like this, you'll be able to tell pretty quickly once you get it into an established bonsai pot when it's thirsty, because I think that the leaves will start drooping. The ends of the branches are relatively delicate, so I'm pretty sure that those will start drooping also. At that point, it's like a give me water right now type of situation. So as this grows and as I learn more about it, I'll be able to watch it and determine how far in between waterings it starts to droop, and then I'll water it before it starts doing that. This tree does grow flowers. That's why they call it a smoke tree. It's got some flowers started right here. I haven't seen it in bloom yet. The picture looks like it's pretty cool. Get a close up of that. If you can see it. There we go. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see the picture. There we go. And that's who produced the tree. So yeah, it looks like it's got some pretty cool flowers on it. This is the description of it. It says it gets 15 feet tall and 12 feet wide. It's not going to get that big in the bonsai pot because I'm not going to let it. Get a little bit closer to the tree over here. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit, show you some things that I'm going to be working on today with this tree, because this is a new tree. I'm not going to repot it just yet. For one reason is because I don't have a pot yet. I've been looking for more bonsai pots. I'm looking for larger bonsai pots because I've got a whole stack of little little bonsai pots. I mean, like these guys, I've got stacks of these, but obviously that's not going to fit in here. So we will do some work on this, and I'm going to just let it grow in this pot for now until I can find a pot, and then we'll do a transplant. It'll probably be fall when I do the transplant. It says not to repot these during the summertime. It's a spring and fall repotting type of tree. This all looks like relatively new growth on it. These trees are a deciduous tree, so it will lose its leaves during the wintertime. It's got quite a few new buds all over the branches here, so this tree is going to fill out even more than it is now as the summer progresses, or spring into summer progresses. A couple of things that I noticed right off. There's a couple of dead tips on this that I'm going to take off. I am going to take off this whip right here. It's just growing straight down out of the bottom of this. I think it'd look a lot better without that. I might actually take this side of it off also. Also, I was kind of looking at this right here, how it's got these two branches growing next to each other. It makes it look like it's got three trunks or handlebar branches right here. And right here, it's already wider than the trunk, the lower trunk of the tree. So this is definitely going to be an issue one side or the other. Honestly, I was looking at keeping this side, but now that I look at it a little bit better, I think I'm going to keep this side, and this will be my first branch, and this will be my second branch here, and then I'll take this one off, and that will alleviate a large branch that's the same size as the next part up on the trunk. So that'll actually take out this whole section right here, though. I'll take out all of this. So this tree is going to be a little bit bare on this side, which I think might look okay. The tree's got kind of a feminine form to it, so having less mass over here might help to slender it up a little bit and make it look better. So I think that's going to be the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off, and so we can move to the next step. And like I said, I've never worked on one of these before. I did do some research before I started this morning. And like any other deciduous tree, you want to be careful of when you're doing major cuttings, because this tree does flower. So if I cut off all the tips of the branches, it may or may not flower this year. So, and I don't think it's going to have an adverse effect on the actual health of the tree, but I don't know if it'll flower, and I want to see it flower this year. So we'll wait to cut off. We'll wait to shorten the branches till later. So this could very well be another tree. Actually, I could do this also. I could do each one of these as trees also. So I'm going to hang on to this, see what I can do, see if it'll propagate. If it does, it does, and if it doesn't, then no big deal. So I'll hang on to that, and then I'm going to cut this back because it doesn't look good like that. The tree does have sap in it, so that's good to know. I'm going to try to do it at kind of an angle here so that I can make it look like it just flows with the tree. I don't want to cut it in too far, but I do want to make it not be sticking out like it is. Get as clean of a cut right here as possible. Grab a knife and trim up these edges a little bit. It's got some relatively hard wood. It's not quite like an oak, but definitely more of a denser wood than, say, a pine or a juniper. So that's pretty good. I'm going to cut some of this off now. that's what that looks like now. Cut a little bit more off the bottom here. I want to make sure and get it set up for it to heal over and not have a huge lump right there, because this is the outside of the curve. So eventually this will heal over and make that look better right there. I'm going to grab the cut paste. I'm going to put cut paste on it right now. It does have sap, so I don't want it to leak too much. I did water this morning, so I don't want it to, yeah, I just don't want the tree to leak out. I'm trying to get it all the way to the edge of the bark here. That's usually where the sap comes from, is the bark. There we go. Alright, so looks pretty good. Now let's check it out. So yeah, that looks much better. And it doesn't look too bare over here. This whole piece was filling in this space right here, just like that. So it did take off all of that from the tree, which I think that looks a lot better, if you ask me. Glad that that's the choice that I made. Like I said, I was going to take this one off, and I think that would have, I don't think that would have been a good idea. So I am going to take these branches off the bottom of this branch though. Take these guys off here, and this guy off here. And I'm going to clip the dead pieces off. It looks like this was trimmed back probably this last winter. I'm going to take this one off the bottom here. Sometimes it's really fun to find a tree that already looks small, like a bonsai tree, and you just have to take a couple of branches off, and it's a good start. Obviously this isn't going to be how it stays, you know. I'm going to have to continue to work on it and get more ramification each year. I'll have to cut off, you know, the tips of each branch and get more ramification out of it and get a better canopy. But this is a good start to a tree already. When I saw this, I was like, yep, I gotta have one of those. That's such a cool tree. Wow, this was a pretty easy process for this tree, I think. And like I said, I really don't know a whole lot about this, so I don't know really what to say about it other than what I have. Now I'm just gonna watch it grow and learn more about it as it's growing and read more about it, and probably see if I can find some videos on it or something like that. See if I can learn some more and find out, you know, what kind of things I can and can't do with it, if I can wire it, if I don't want to wire it. Honestly, at this point, I don't know if I want to wire it. It looks really good. The branches are all going in relatively good directions. If anything, maybe wiring this branch out like this, but I might let these two branches here thicken up a little bit, and then I'll probably take the end of this off way back here and see how that does. But I'm gonna let it grow for a while before I do that. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So I think that's going to do it for this video. Kind of a short video, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. It's awesome watching a tree go from, you know, you just picked it up at the garden center to pretty much a bonsai like right away. I have gotten some trees like that and then they turned into a mess because I didn't know anything about them, but this seems to be a pretty easy tree from what I've read so far. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.